Hello everyone, welcome back to another World of Warships Legends video. Today we're gonna take a look at Azur Lane Tallinn. Now, what's the difference between the regular Tallinn and the Azur Lane Tallinn? I'll put up the stats change on the screen now. So basically you have a slight reload nerf and you lose out on 3000 HP, but you do get a reload booster and you get 8 repair parties. But just remember, you have to give up your radar if you want to use the repair parties. Other than that, it's basically a premium Tallinn. So when the patch notes were released, I thought, well, here you go, another broken ship, another pay to win ship because of the hills. But now, since I've played a few games, still a great ship because it's a Tallinn, but it's not a broken or pay to win ship by any means. Now I'll explain why. So the cooldown plus duration on your heals is 130 seconds, so unless you're using some special commanders, you're not gonna go through all the hills. And the second point is, how does repair parties work? So repair parties work, they don't recover all your health. They recover 50% of penetration damage and 10% of citadel damage. The only damage you can fully recover are fire, flood, and AP overpens. So you're a cruiser with 33,000 health. Let's say you take 2 citadels from a battleship and lose 25,000 health. The rest of the match you're gonna be stuck under 10,000 HP. No matter if you pop like 100 heals, you're never gonna recover all of your health. Let's say you don't take any citadels, but you take a lot of penetration damage from other cruisers or battleships. You can only recover 50% of that. So again, I don't think you'll ever get the value of all those heals. It's pretty much guaranteed. So out of all the match that I have played, maybe I have used 3 or 4 heals at the best. So again, it's still a great ship, still maybe slightly better than the regular Tallinn, but not as busted as I thought it would be. So we have a free-to-play build with Kuznetsov, Mikawa, and Mimbelli. We're boosting our range, HE fire chance, AP damage and penetration, and the accuracy, and we're using refill station for extra reload. So these are tier 5, tier 6 battles with 5 battleships on each team, and the enemy team almost have all of their commanders maxed out, which is pretty rare to see. On the other hand, of course, it's blue team that has a lot of generic commanders, but so we already know we have to be on our toes this game, and the enemy team does have a Warspite, so we have to be cautious in the early game because Warspite has 16-inch guns, so he can overmatch us and do penetration damage on us regardless of our angle. Now I hate when battleships come behind cruisers like that because battleships are visible from farther away. So when you sneak up on your friendly cruiser like that, you put him in danger because people are gonna be shooting at you and you might let your cruiser get killed doing that. Anyway, so we're gonna be a little cautious in the early game. We do have an 18-kilometer range, so we are gonna try to use that. Since we are kiting away, if we are at the max range for those battleships, they won't be able to hit us because if they fire, we'll just sail out of their range. But since they're moving towards us, our shell will always reach them. So we almost lost 1/3 of our health here, even though we are more or less trying to be cautious. We got some damage of the Tallinn, but our main worry is the Warspite. So it seems like the Strasbourg is falling behind. The Strasbourg has smaller guns, so if we need to push him later, it's fine. We can push him. He can't overmatch us. We have 25mm plating. So we are gonna try to focus on the Warspite as much as we can. So we switched from AP to HE here in the hopes that we can set him on fire. And right now we are almost 18 kilometers from him. So his shells can't reach us if he fires at us, but ours will since he's moving towards us. We take a few pot shots at the Tallinn. Seems like we got one hit there. I'm not sure which way is he turning. Yeah, so he's turning toward the cap circle. Their cap circle C is flipping red, so that means there's a destroyer there. But that doesn't phase our Akatsuki. Seems like he's pushing in to a Warspider, destroyer, and a Talon. At this moment, I'm hoping our Akatsuki disengages and keeps only the enemy ship spotted. That's all we need, to be honest. We don't need to lose our destroyer this early in the game. So I'm gonna try shooting at the Talon because he's gonna shoot at our destroyer. So I'm trying to keep our destroyer alive. Got some good damage on the Talon. We took out his torpedo tubes. I think only one shot and we can get him. Yeah, this should get rid of the Talon. So we pop our second hill now. The destroyer is running away, so there's no need for our destroyer to keep shooting because the more he shoots, the longer he'll stay spotted. He almost lost most of his health, but the Warspite there, he took a lot of torpedoes, so that's a good thing. And surely he used his damage control. So we switched from AP to HE here in the hopes of setting him on a fire, because if we can, it will be a permanent fire. And there we go, we managed to set him on a permanent fire. So he's gonna be burning now, and he's probably gonna die very soon. So we are more or less safe to start pushing into sea. And yeah, we have a battleship at B. Hopefully he can take the Warspite. I don't want to lose most of my health with the last salvo of Warspite. So again, I'm not gonna get too reckless here. I'll wait for him to die. The enemy team does have a cap, so they're gaining points, but we are not gaining any points. Neither of their destroyer ran away from sea, but I'm hoping that one of our destroyer gets into sea. Now our Akatsuki, I'm not sure why he did that, because the Warspite is dying anyway, he's burning. So he just pushed into the Warspite just to get the kill, just to try to get the kill. And he got himself killed by doing that. And it was, we are the ones that got the kill on the Warspite, but anyways, so the Strasbourg is moving in, so we're gonna take some shots at him, maybe hope for a fire on him.
All forces, capture that area.
Looks like he's gonna be moving into B, so we need to take C. It's still a 6v6 and they're gaining points, so we need to start getting capture circles. We can't sit with no cap circles while the enemy has two. So we were shooting at him, and we knew he's gonna shoot at us, so we started turning by the time he shot, and he missed all his shot, but he's behind an island now, so we can't hit him anymore. So we're gonna start moving towards C, and hopefully maybe we can land a few shots on him while he is at C to reset B. And the B cap started flipping even before Strasbourg got in, so there must be a destroyer there. So we know the position of one of the destroyers now. And there we go, we got a permanent fire on Strasbourg. I'm slowing down here a little bit because I want to take as many shots as I can before I get into sea. Once I get into sea, I don't want to be reset while I'm capping. So I'm trying to get maybe another fire on the Strasbourg. and use this small patch of land here as a cover.
All stations,
Our destroyer
proceed to
could have,
capture that area.
the German destroyer that's on our flank, he could have captured sea way long ago, but he's not interested, so we'll have to get into sea here. I think that's the Scharnhorst, that's the other battleship. He's also coming in, so we want to close our line of sight here and take a few pot shots at Strasbourg before the Scharnhorst is in our direct line of sight, because as I said, I don't want to get reset here when I'm capping. And so we take our last shots on the Strasbourg, and Scharnhorst now has direct line of sight to us. So we are gonna try to put that island behind us and the Scharnhorst so he can't shoot at us. Then we'll be able to keep shooting at the Strasbourg, because Strasbourg's guns are not facing us. So even if he sees us, it doesn't bother me that much. So here we take more shots at the Strasbourg, but since we have the island behind us and the Scharnhorst now, he can't reset us, and the Strasbourg's guns are not facing our way. So we should be able to get sea pretty soon, and yeah, there we go. So we now have 2 capture circles. We have some points coming, but we're still trailing by 130 points, and it's still a 5v5. Seems like our German destroyer is going for Scharnhorst. I didn't see his torpedoes, but I see the Scharnhorst secondaries, so he got himself spotted, and just a moment ago we saw he has almost all of his health. He had full health, so I'm just hoping he doesn't die to the Scharnhorst for no reason here. So we're gonna try to save our battleship at A, take some pot shots at Strasbourg while he's backing, and we're gonna keep an eye on the Scharnhorst because he's approaching our stern side and he's pretty close. I don't want to be broadside to either of them, so I'm gonna use the island to fall back a little and maybe torp the Scharnhorst and use the island to block any shots from the Strasbourg. I wish I had AP loaded here, but we had HE loaded, so we switched to AP. We released all our torpedoes. Scharnhorst is turning his guns, but it's too late. We have pretty good AP. We should be able to get him here. So we take some shots. We got some torpedo hits also, and we took care of the Scharnhorst. And before the Strasbourg fired at us, we want to be angled towards him, so we started turning towards him. But he's not firing at us. He's trying to get rid of that battleship, so we're gonna try to help our battleship here. I switched to HE again, and let's see if we can get him. So there goes another HE salvo. Decent damage, and we got a fire, so this salvo should take care of him. And yeah, there we go. So Strasbourg is dead. So we were able to manage. We were able to save our battleship there. Now both of the remaining enemy ships are pretty out of position. And yeah, if you didn't notice it, we did lose our destroyer to that Scharnhorst. So we are out of destroyers, but they do have a destroyer. But we have most of our health. Our battleship is low, but we still have 2 cruisers. I don't know how much health our other cruiser have, so I'm not gonna take any chance. I'm gonna capture B, and then we'll go looking for the destroyer. And we are at 4 kills here, so there is a Kraken on the line here if we can kill the destroyer. So we are gonna try to capture B as fast as we can. Then we are gonna start moving towards the last seen position of the destroyer. It's a Z-31, so it's one of those armored German destroyer that's good at killing cruisers. So I'm a little worried because I don't know how much health our other cruiser have. If the destroyer can kill that cruiser, then it's a fair game because our battleship is pretty low. But our cruiser just popped up and seems like he has most of his health, so that's a good thing. And so far we're not spotted. So on the minimap, the blue circle, that's our detection circle, and that's 11 kilometers. So our cruiser just told us he got spotted and he's behind an island, so we pretty much know which direction the destroyer is. He's towards the middle of the map. And we just got spotted now, and so from the minimap we can see our detection circle, and we pretty much know exactly where he is. So he's somewhere in that grid in the middle of the map. So we're letting our cruiser know that where he is based on the fact that he got spotted first, then our detection circle, we can make an educated guess where he is. So we are gonna turn a little in the direction that he is in, and we are gonna turn on our sonar here. We have less health than our other cruiser, and our battleship is pretty low too, so I think it's safe to assume that destroyer will come for either us or the battleship, not for the other cruiser. So we're trying to get ahead of our battleship to screen any torpedoes that might be coming towards this direction, and we're turning just a little, but it's a Z-31. His torpedoes are pretty slow, and we have a sonar running, so we should be able to see him pretty farther away. Again, we have a pretty good idea in which direction he is in. He should be right in front of us somewhere there. So the match only has 45 seconds left. So I'm really hoping I can catch him so I can get the Kraken here. And let's see if we can do it or not here. And there we go. He gets spotted because he didn't run behind the island. So we'll take some shots at him. And there are his torpedoes, but they're pretty slow. And there we go, the Kraken. So, Azur Lane Tallinn, we got the Kraken, the high caliber, 124,000 damage. We got a bunch of cap circles and almost 3,200, 3,100 game. So pretty good ship, as long as you don't think it's a tanky monster that you're gonna be on the front line at the start of the game and tank all the damage. Just be patient, just play it like Tallinn, and it's a really good ship. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one.